Want to lose 30 pounds without cutting out any of your favorite foods, restricting yourself, feeling tired, or losing muscle mass? Our client Matt achieved exactly this and kept off the 30 pounds he lost permanently. What you see here is a year-long process, and we're going to condense that into the next 10 minutes so you can accomplish a similar result in a physique that makes you look like an athlete. The first step to this process, losing 30 pounds, keeping it off permanently, is building the foundation for the transformation. If you want to retain all of your muscle through the cut, not have to push and dig your calories super low, or run cardio up super high, fight your fat off, you must put your body in a position to respond rapidly to the diet. When Matt started with us, he was pretty inconsistent with his food intake. Some days he was at a higher food intake, some days he was at a lower food intake, food not being tracked. Training itself was present, but the majority of it just looked like tossing weight around, and it wasn't very structured. Even though Matt had years of experience and created a change, he found himself at a standstill. The first thing that we gave Matt was a calorie and a protein goal to be consistent with for the first 4 months. In the process of hitting this target on a consistent basis, his body was able to communicate back with him with what it needed. Matt came in with the goal of taking his physique to an elite level, which to him meant looking leaner. But based off his starting point, just throwing him into a calorie deficit right away was not going to accomplish that. Adding more muscle tissue was, as the more development you have on your physique, the more definition that you carry. As he got more and more consistent with his calorie intake, he noticed hunger start to rise and his body demand more calories from him, simply because of the improvements that we made in his training quality. We took his exercises from looking like this, no control on the eccentrics, not taking the target muscle through a full range of motion, to looking like this. He found himself using way less load, but getting way more out of his training, which led him to finally break a muscle building plateau that he had been in for years prior to this. We made these changes just by a lot of back and forth communication. If we're not taking a look at how the athlete moves, and if you're not taking a look at how you're moving, how are we doing our job as coaches and how are you doing your job as an athlete? It doesn't matter how many years of experience that you have in the gym, it matters how much experience you have training in the gym, which looks like this and not like this. As his training progressed rapidly, as a byproduct, his body demanded more and more fuel from him to keep up with all the progress that he was making. So of course, we increased his food to supplement that. And as you could maybe guess, put on muscle tissue as a byproduct. Lines in his physique got even deeper, muscle bellies in his physique got rounder. So my question to you is, why throw yourself into a deficit right away if you can make these kind of results on better nutrition consistency and better training quality alone? The next step, once the foundation has been built, is to lose the 30 pounds. Now that the foundation's built, it's time for the fun stuff. Your body is in a position to respond effectively now, which means easy, rapid fat loss that melts right off, doesn't leave you feeling restricted, fatigued, or negatively affect your training performance and progress in the gym. This is the result of Matt losing those 30 pounds in 6 months, and yes, he did it eating pancakes every single morning instead of chicken fucking salads. Here's how we did it. The first thing we did was just ease into the calorie deficit itself. That does not mean a big drastic drop, but it means just a 10% calorie reduction. Dropping calories too aggressively from the jump isn't always the best idea, especially if the context is losing 20 to 30 pounds of fat or more. You're going to want to do this over a longer period of time so you don't get burnt out. Once you take calories away, there's no adding them back. So again, ease into it and aim for about 1% of your body weight being lost a week. This is a very, very solid pace to move at that does not overly fatigue you, run your hunger up, down-regulate your metabolism too fast, or take away from your training performance. Now from here, as we make more and more progress in the diet, we want to pull back and take breaks as needed to recover from the fatigue of dieting and keep training progressing. That way we do not lose muscle tissue. Dieting itself is by nature stressful on the body. A body that is too stressed all the time is going to have a very hard time losing fat. Meaning, the more cortisol that your body's pumping out, the less T4 to T3 conversion that occurs. T3 being your thyroid hormone that has the greatest impact on your metabolic rate. So if T3 goes down, so does your metabolic rate and your ability to lose fat. Also, the higher that your cortisol goes up in a fat loss phase, the more the hormone insulin will be released in attempts to bring cortisol back down. The more frequently that insulin is released, the more resistance your body has to continue releasing it. And your body's ability to release insulin on a consistent basis is key for not just muscle growth and hypertrophy and retaining muscle in the context of a deficit, but mobilizing stored fat. So, to offset the effects of cortisol and stress of dieting, because there's no getting rid of them, we needed to ensure that Matt was progressing consistently and didn't feel like shit. So, about every 5 to 10 weeks, we would pull him out of the deficit to maintenance calories to allow him to reset, recover, and keep moving forward. Training-wise, we would do the exact same during that week that he went up to maintenance calories. We would bring both his training volume and his training intensity down temporarily for that week to deload, back off, and prepare himself for the next phase of training. That way he could come back into it stronger. You can only progress for so long in training without needing to pull back and back off, especially when you're eating in a calorie deficit and you have less calories to help you recover. So at some point, yes, back off on purpose to adapt, secure the progress you've made, and keep going. As you can see, this is Matt hanging out right around 2,000 calories, already about 10 pounds total down in his diet. Hanging right around 194, he's ending the week out at 191, 192. Going to the next week, he starts in at 193. He ends up getting to 190. Amazing, incredible. Going into that next week, August 21st, 191. He's hitting new lows. Now he's in the 180s. If we take a look at the photos from the beginning of August, from August 6th, this is his photos. Boom. About 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Why not? 5 weeks later, as you can see here, he's at 188 pounds, and boom, you can see him getting leaner. There's more lines in the delts, striations in the delts, lines in the back are getting a little bit deeper, even from where they were here. Incredible to see. Now his calories are 2,000. We actually, I think, dipped them down. No, still kept them at 2,000 for the week of the 28th. And as you can see from the beginning of August, 195. Now towards the end of August, going to September, the last 4 weeks, he's at 188 pounds. So about 6-7 pounds down. And after pushing the deficit for the last 4 or 5 weeks, what we did is we brought his calories up from 2,000 to 2,400. So a 400 calorie increase would put him back at about an estimated maintenance for him. And during this week, what do you know? Wow, he's still hitting low weigh-ins, 187, 187, 188, 188. He's hitting low weigh-ins even while increasing his food. Well, he didn't gain weight from increasing his calories? No, because it's just maintenance calories. And again, you look at his photos, leaner, leaner, tighter, tighter. Let's go into the next month, come September. This is the week where he was at the diet break at 2,400. We pull him down from 2,400, and now we're at 1,900. Just a 100 calorie decrease from where we were hanging out before the diet break. And as you can see, 189, 187, 186, 185. Matt is doing some steady cooking and making some incredible progress right here, and calories are at 1,900. So he's down almost 3, 4, 5 pounds from his last diet break. We're looking at the photos, man, he's definitely getting leaner from even where he was at the beginning of the month. Now, we go into the next month. Come October, we're seeing 184 come through. His calories are at 1,900 still. We're steady pushing, steady moving along. Now, as you can see, he's at 184, 182, 181. Amazing. We bring his calories up back to 2,400. 1,900 up to 2,400. This time a 500 calorie increase. As you can see though, we're still seeing 181, 182. He's not really gaining weight. He's just refueling, re-energizing himself to get back into the diet and keep progress moving along. So we drop his calories from 2,500 down to 1,750. This is his last push of the diet. And as you can see, he's 180, 181 pounds. Progress photos, he's looking leaner than ever. That's how we accomplish that. That's what that looks like. Now he's into the 170s. In this final leg of the diet. Each time that we bump up his calories, it gives him the energy to go out and lose another 5 to 10 more pounds. The third and the most crucial step is maintaining this fat loss forever. Most people will lose the 30 pounds, then fall back into old behaviors, old habits, and grow tired of tracking food and living the athlete lifestyle. Mainly because their approach to fat loss in the first place burnt them out. Unlike Matt, who again ate pancakes every single fucking day of his cut and experienced the easiest fat loss of his life due to the strategy I just showed you. 3 months after he lost the 30 pounds, we got Matt's calories up 800 calories in total, all while only gaining 2 pounds. We successfully rebuilt his metabolism and got it to be more efficient than ever. That is the opportunity that you have after a diet if you stay locked in. To make this really simple, we took all of the calorie adjustments that we made in his diet and just made the same ones, only this time bringing his calories up over the next 3 months. Each time that we bumped his calories up 200 or 300, he felt a boost in his training performance. And just like we did in step 1, he started putting on muscle tissue again. As a byproduct of this, you can see him begin to even look leaner as a byproduct of building more muscle. Coming out of a diet, you are in the best position to gain muscle rapidly, so take advantage of it. But that doesn't mean just adding in 1,000 calories right after you finish the diet, because then you'll just put on too much fat mass too quickly. So this means treating the post-diet phase as diligently as you did the dieting phase. And if you say that you want results for life and you want to maintain them for life and you don't want to lose and gain the same amount of weight every single year, then this is what you commit to. The end of the diet, I promise you, is just the beginning of the journey ahead. A journey towards lifetime results, as building more muscle is what is going to keep improving your physique year over year. And yes, you can expect to look better during this period after the diet. Not only because of the muscle mass that you're putting on, but because you've successfully recovered your metabolism, hormones from the diet, you're not as stressed as you were in the diet, and you're performing better than you ever have in the gym, eating more calories than you ever have. I don't imagine that life is very stressful when you look like this and you're eating 2,700 calories a day. Talk about freedom. Talk about eating whatever you want. Talk about never having to stress out about the menu at a restaurant. Talk about traveling wherever you want and going to the all-inclusive resort and having your metabolism be so fast that you come back from the trip down in weight. Never having to worry about gaining unwanted body fat again, or never looking the way that you want to again, or never not fitting into the clothes the way you want to again. For Matt, all this took was 1 year work, 1 season of his life, where he made more combined progress than he had in the previous 5 years of his training. This has not only set him up to make progress and results for life, but has given him the courage to step on stage for his first ever bodybuilding show at the end of this year in 2020. You're not just meant to float around in the plateau forever. You're meant to break it and keep setting the bar higher and higher for yourself. If you're looking to make this happen for yourself, or if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you're looking for a macro plan to get you started on a similar process and similar journey yourself, hit the first link below in the description to download it. And make sure to drop a like on this video if you want more videos just like this.